So recently I heard news of YouTube removing the dislike button. Now when I first heard this from a friend, I thought this was like the future where you just disable the like and dislike ratio and just remove it entirely. I thought this was old news. But no, apparently YouTube is straight up removing the dislike button. I saw what YouTube had to say about it last night and I kind of want to go over my thoughts about it. So let's get started.
Hey folks, you may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice. So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction.
Two things to say about this. One, like the harassment of dislikes, it's not the worst thing. And it's not the best way to even resolve the situation. Just because you take away likes from everyone's eyes doesn't mean that the dislikes are not there. So pretty much their way of solving this is stupid in its own. But even worse, they are getting rid of a function that is needed on YouTube, really. The dislike button is needed on YouTube because it tells you if the video is worth watching your time. If this video has like 100 dislikes and only like 5 dislikes, then you know this video is not worth your time. And that's fine. That's fine. That just tells me that I need to work on my content. That just tells me that I need to improve. But that also tells other people that this video is not, worth watching. And you know what's even worse? Because this function has existed on YouTube, there are, YouTubers who have their dislike button and like button disabled. That just tells us that they don't want to share the info with us. And because YouTubers don't want to show this info with us, YouTube is trying to make everyone not show this info, which only leads to disaster.
So, the update from YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private. You can still dislike videos, and that action will be used to tune your own recommendations, but you won't be able to see the dislike count. Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want. Now, a few common questions we saw from the initial experiment. First, without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of had this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not. In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched.
So, I'm not sure if the wording is weird, but it sounds like that the people who disliked the video, gave a view to the YouTuber. Of course, that's how it works. You click on a video, you don't like it, you dislike it. You watch it a bit, but here's the thing, so that's one way to put it, right? They watch it for 5 seconds and then they don't like it, and they dislike it, right? That's fine. But the thing is, the viewer may just watch the whole video, critique it at his best, and say, this could have been done better, or, this something not right about this, I'm gonna dislike it. And of course they're gonna still watch. Seriously, that's the thing you want. You want people to watch your videos and critique you at the whole thing. You don't want people disliking you like 5 seconds in. It's gonna happen, but you don't want that, right? And apparently YouTube's gotten confused with each other.
Next common question. If creators can still see the dislike count on the back end, how's that any different? They can see it if they look for it inside Studio Analytics under the Engagement tab. But overall, it's much less likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public.
Did you even ask someone this? Did you even ask someone who has been harassed by other people to say, hey, what if we just remove the dislike button? Will that make you feel better, buddy? Will that make you feel better? No, of course it fucking won't. Of course it won't. The dislike button is still there. If people still use it, YouTubers will see that their videos get getting disliked. And if they're still getting dislike spammed by the same people who dislike spammed them before, then what difference is it going to make? The only difference is that it's only going to be shown to the YouTuber, which he probably already did on all his other videos. And the situation is still there. The problem is still there. There is no answer. There's no resolving this. You have only made the situation worse for them, YouTube. You did not even solve it. You only hit a curtain around them so that other people can see who's bullying them, which sucks. That's the worst thing to do.
And one more common question, is this because YouTube Rewind got lots of dislikes?
Yes, obviously. No, okay. No, that's not the reason why YouTube. That's not the reason why you're trying to get rid of the dislike button. The reason is because your companies don't like seeing dislikes on their advertisement videos and they want it gone. YouTube complies. And YouTube fucks its creators over in the ass. That's how it's always been.
No. Although there are some teams internally who have learned the hard way what it feels like to get lots of dislikes. Now, this again is about protecting all creators and making sure they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so. All right, so that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration. Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind other platforms don't even have a dislike button. So consider that. Thank you, and I hope you're well.
Wow, okay, a lot of things wrong with that segment. First off, just because a platform doesn't have a dislike button doesn't mean it's not there. I'm pretty sure the majority of us have found a way to recognize if a tweet, a message or Instagram post is just bad in general. And because of that, we do need a dislike button. We need to see if it's videos worth watching or not. I go to tutorial videos to see if this, if it can fix my problem or if I need help with something. And if the amount of dislikes and likes is this, the better the video is, right? That's how it's always been. Not by the views, not by the YouTuber subscriber count, but by the likes and dislikes. That's how it's always been. And the fact that you're gonna remove that, well, that just shows that YouTube just doesn't care. YouTube doesn't care about the smaller content creator. Again, they're saying that they're doing this for the smaller content creators. They want to hear our voices, yet they didn't even ask us. They didn't even ask us what we would think. And even if they did, and they took one or two people from this, whatever YouTube thinks they're doing is right is wrong. This is the wrong answer to do if you're trying to solve this problem. If you're trying to solve harassment on YouTube with the dislike button, that doesn't help. That doesn't help YouTube. This is only gonna make the situation, if not worse. But again, that's up to YouTube. You're only leading your own platform to destruction, YouTube. So enough of me ranting, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a dislike or a like, whatever. And until then, I'll see you later. Peace.